Hey there. So today we're going to talk about my Kundalini activation and my experience. Um, I may seem a little chill in this video, and there's probably a reason for that. I think, I don't want to give a spoiler alert, but I think something really relaxed me in that activation. But first, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Katie Marietta Tondon, founder of Lit Up. And because of my own experience with a spiritual awakening, going from an agnostic, like not believing in God, to this amazing new life with a real close relationship with God and being in alignment with unity consciousness and realizing that love is truly the answer to everything. In going through that, it was quite isolating and lonely, and I became obsessed with offering something for other spiritual seekers experiencing a spiritual awakening to be able to connect with others and also to find vetted, trustworthy Lightworker practitioners. So that's what I'm doing. And if you want more information about that, you can check the description. But the reason why we're here today is to discuss my experience. So first thing is you can see the inset video of what it was like for me. And what you see is just really quite calm. Like I'm just in a meditative state, lying down while the practitioner is doing the energy activation. And mine was virtual. I did not do mine in person. But it looks just really like nothing is happening. But as I was going through it, some things were happening. Okay. So, first of all, I do want to just kind of backtrack a little bit because there was something in the prep work that I think I failed to mention. One of the biggest things that I did, and I have to give credit to my good friend who recommended this, was I did purchase a crystal that I worked with for about a week before my activation. So I purchased Serpentine, and I'll include information in the description for that as well. Crystal, and I just kind of wore it for the week leading up and just tried to connect to my intention for my activation. And I had a few things that, I intended for the activation. First of all, I set the intention for it to be gentle, not overwhelming for me. And I also had some personal things that I wanted to release in the activation. And I'm still trying to determine what has truly been released, but let me just tell you this. So as first, back to the crystal. So one of the other things that happened, and for those of you who are into crystals, you probably are like, oh yeah. So I don't work with crystals a lot. I do occasionally, but the funny thing that happened with this was I was actually wearing it in my pocket while I was doing the activation. And then afterward, I remember going to get it, like it had fallen out of my pocket during the activation, and because I was lying down. And I remember going to get the crystal, and I think I remember putting it in a particular place in my house. But the crazy thing is, I cannot find that crystal anywhere. And it's not like it was tiny or, inconspicuous. Like, it was a huge crystal, not huge, but like big enough, and it was enclosed in like a spiral, like a gold spiral casing so that I could wear it as a pendant. So it was obvious, like if, I'm just kind of like glancing around, I'd see it. Anyway, the point is, I think the crystal did its work and then it disappeared. And I've heard from people like sometimes, you could drop a crystal and it'll break if it's no longer in use for you or in service of you, or those kind of things where once the crystal has done what it came into your life to do, it then some way, shape, or form leaves. And I don't know, like maybe I'll post again later about this crystal if I find it. But for now, it is missing, and I find that interesting. A lot of this with spiritual development is just having a curiosity about it and being like, what if? I mean, maybe it's like just in a different spot that I forgot to put it in, but maybe there's something to it. Okay, so along those lines, I also have on my serpent necklace here, which I've been wearing for years. This is not just related to Kundalini. However, I just feel like I'm a little bit closer to that energy working through me now. And I just wanted to honor that. And so I've been wearing my serpent necklace. Normally, my serpent necklace for me is just a reminder that I can tame my own fears. So you can use that one if you like. Okay, so as I was going through the activation, first of all, the practitioner intuitively selected a 1-hour playlist, and we started the playlist at the same time, and I went to go lie down and just relax, and he did his energy work, which, as far as like what he did, he has learned from, I believe, a tribe in Guatemala. I think he does a lot of traveling, so it may have been another location, but he learned how to activate your Kundalini in a gentle way. And he hasn't said if he wants to necessarily offer this extensively, so I'm not going to necessarily share his information in the details. If you are interested in knowing about his information, put it in the comments and I'll just reach out to him and ask if he is interested in more clients. But anyway, so as I was lying there for the activation, it was just, I got into a meditative state fairly easily once I was like just allowing it, because I was still a little bit in ego of like worried about what might happen. Still a little bit in fear there. But once I was like, okay, I'm good, everything's okay, and I trusted the process, and I was able to get into a meditative state. And I was kind of focused more on the physical, like was I having any physical impact? And I did feel a few light things, like I felt some tingling in different areas. I felt like basically my heart, like a very strong heartbeat, but from my back. And that was definitely unique. I've never had that before. And just kind of like some really subtle things physically that happened. And then maybe about halfway to 2/3 of the way through, I don't even know how to really put this, but I kind of thought of one of the intentions that I set for the activation, and I just thought, it is done. Like, it just felt like, I mean, I didn't even have to think about it. It was just like I had the feeling of it is accomplished and I don't even need to try anymore. And the moment that I accepted that thought or that feeling, I just like started releasing tears of the most immense joy and peace. It was just such a relieving feeling of like, because this is something that I've tried to release for probably my entire adult life. And so when I had that feeling of it is done, the tears came and I just released its hold on me, I guess. So that was probably the biggest moment. And so the rest of the activation was very gentle. I didn't experience any like bodily movement, as you can see in the video, the insert video. So, I think I received the right teacher for me, which was gentle and exactly what I needed it to be. I didn't want something to be overwhelming or to completely disrupt my life. I like my life, and so I was intentional about that. And so, as far as after the reading, I definitely was in a state of bliss after, and just very relaxed. I mean, it was an hour meditation essentially, so of course you're going to be blissed out. But what I did notice that evening, because I went out with friends to see a band, and normally I would have some social anxiety going into a crowded space, and I just typically worry about a lot of things. And but the worry was just gone. I was just going with the flow, not worried about any, typically I would really have anxiety about every little detail of an experience like that, but I really wasn't. It was just lifted, it was gone, and I do feel it's been a couple of days since, and I do feel like I just have an ease about me, which it's just a relief. So I just wanted to share with you what my experience was. Now, this is obviously not the same experience for everyone, so you do still need to do your due diligence of preparing yourself and finding the right teacher for you. But I just wanted to share that with you, and also know that if you have experienced a Kundalini activation, whether on your own or with a teacher, share it in the comments. We need to help each other out. So please just share it with us, or consider joining the community so that we can talk it out with each other, and especially if you've had an overwhelming experience. Mine was gentle, but if you've had something overwhelming happen, we're here for you. And that's what the point is for creating the community that I am. All right, I think that's it for now. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.